Okay, hello and welcome back to Ace Attorney Investigations. We're going to continue where we left off last time. I'm hoping I saved properly. Haha. But, let's get into it. Yeah, episode 2, on the plane. How fun. Let's go and get into it. Yeah, that's a Doja Cat reference. And I apologize if my internet kills the stream in advance. So if it's short, that's why. So let's go. March 12th, 1 o'clock p.m. local time, Hope Springs Airport. Ooh, we're actually here in the airport. Nice. I know that once we had landed, I'm supposed to let the local police take over. And thanks to Miss Denario and Miss Meal, I was able to preserve the crime scene. But I just can't shake it. I wasn't able to talk with Miss Denario in private. So I'm left wondering just what she was up to. Why did she do what she did? There must be a way for me to continue my investigation. I've been expecting you, Miles Edgeworth. Francisca? I thought you were still in Germany. I go where I am needed, and wherever there are criminals to be caught. Her name is Francisca von Karma, the daughter of my mentor, Manfred von Karma. She, like myself, is a prosecutor. Are you heading up this case? It would be a bit of a relief if you are. Don't you try to flatter me, Miles Edgeworth. I'm placing you under arrest. What? It's quite frustrating, actually. I had hoped to exact my revenge on you in a different venue. But I'll have to take what I can get. I never thought I'd see the day when a disciple of the House of Von Karma would become a criminal. Have you no shame? No, wait! It has all been a big misunderstanding. I didn't kill the victim. A misunderstanding? I heard all about the murder over the police radio from the captain himself. He waited for the victim on the first floor, and then beat him to death. Francisca, do you honestly believe that I killed the man? I suppose I should reserve judgment until after I have investigated this for myself. I can put your arrest on hold until then. That's as it should be. Huh. I don't need a lecture on how to perform my duties from you of all people. To be perfect in every way, the fulfillment of that creed alone is all I strive for. Well, I have my own creed which I must fulfill, so why don't we solve this together? I have to get going. The crime scene awaits. Don't you dare leave town. Trust me, I had no intention to. Detective Gumshoe? Yes, sir. Too slow. Ah! Aww. Listen up. I'm leaving you in charge of watching this man. Don't mess up, understand? Mr. Edgeworth? I'm supposed to guard him? A simple yes or no, detective. Ah, yes, sir. Understood, sir. You just leave it to me. Miles Edgeworth. If you interfere with my investigation, I'll arrest you on the spot. Are we clear? Now then, if you'll excuse me. Good to see you again, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. Boy, am I glad to see you're okay. Thank you, detective. I believe in you, sir. You can lean on me. I'll get you through this. I have to admit, I'm a bit cautious as to what Francisca is up to. Maybe I should ask the good detective. Very well. In that case, I have a few questions for you. I should try to get some information on Detective Gumshoe first. Okay, let's talk to him first then. This man was in first class with me. He was quite shaken up by the whole affair. I did it. I made it the whole flight. I'm not scared of turbulence anymore. He must have been pretty scared. He's repeating the same thing over and over to himself. Looking from behind, I think I've seen this man somewhere before. Russia rope legs, lunch boxes, job. Yeah. Found it. Lol. Oh, I feel a wave of creative powers coming on. It's over 9,000 lols for my next late movie. It's going It's gonna be the Steel Samurai Warrior of Neo-Old Tokyo versus the World Samurai Champion of Earth. It's gonna rock so many boxers. So the Steel Samurai is finally getting a movie. Lunchland. Not bad, I guess it's gotten big enough to warrant its own brand shops. What should I go with? I remembered our airport special World Flags lunchboxes, only available for a limited time. We have a variety of lunchboxes made up to look like different countries' flags. I wonder if they're amazing to take to Lunchland to the international market. What a view of the planes preparing for takeoff. Besides the turbulence, they're really not all that bad as a mode of transportation. I can't believe there's no one meeting the counter when a murder has just occurred. Okay. So, how is the initial investigation going? We just shipped the body off to the coroner's office, and we're taking statements now, sir. That sounds like Francisca. She was always good at quick responses to a case. I'd say she was a little too quick, sir. Oh, how so? I rushed on over as soon as I got word of the affair, sir. But somehow, when I got here, Miss Von Karma was already here barking out orders at everyone. It was kind of creepy, as though she knew there had been a murder or something, and had come in advance to await your flight's arrival. That is sort of odd. She did show up rather quickly, and in the blue. Plus, I still don't know why she's here in America. There must be some backstory to all of this. Miss Von Karma just kind of popped up at the prosecutor's office about a week ago, sir. Something about chasing down leads related to a certain incident. No details? It's kind of top secret, so she can't talk about it, even with me, sir. Knowing her, the only type of talking she likes to do is with her whip. Plus, I doubt the top secret part was what stopped her from talking to the detective. Although, I wonder if her case has anything to do with mine. Anyway, that's about all the info I have, sir. We should find out more as we investigate. Yes, it is high time to resume my investigation, starting with talking to people involved in this case afresh. Detective? There's a kid there now. Was he there the whole time? Have you ever been to another country before, Detective? Nope, not yet, sir. I don't even have a passport. But I've been saving up for that eventual someday. A day, to be precise. At that rate, he won't be making any trips until well after retirement. This child seems to be happily enjoying the sight of so many planes. I'm all excited to see this many planes too. Just look at the size of these things. Do you like planes too, mister? The balance between the main wings and the tail wings is really something, huh? Huh. It seems that this child derives his pleasure from a different aspect. Oh. But I've also got a thing for the shape of the wings too. Hey, mister, you can stand next to me, so about that plane's wing. Thank you, Detective, for leaving me out of this conversation. March 12th, 1:37 p.m. So you must be the captain. Why, yes, I am, and who might you be? I'm the prodigy prosecutor Francisco Von Karma, and I have a few questions for you. Ah, don't you dare, Captain. Getting friendly with another woman. I'll never forgive you if you do. What are you talking about? I only have eyes for you, my dear Kenny. I wouldn't bet money on our dear captain to be much of a reputable person. Sure, you don't want to ask him, Captain, the question. Blah, blah, blah. I should have put autoplay on. I thought it would help. He was in the cockpit the entire time. I highly doubt he would know anything of use. Anyway, I'd like to leave that type of witness to Francisca and her whip. This is where I was before. That kid didn't finish his giant steak or bread, or his ice cream. Ah! Right away. March 12th, 1:40 p.m. Oh, there's that guy. What's on him? Oh, it's his jacket. I thought he was bleeding or something. Now see here. Ah! Sorry, I'm sorry. How long do you intend to hold me? It is impossible for me to be the criminal I told you. Mr. LeBlanc. Oh, it's you. Nah, his shoes, I can finally see them, and they're not the right shoes. Tell this man to stop stopping me from going. Time is money. I don't have even 1 second of wasteful time to spend. I think not. Hello, detective. It looks like his hat. It's exactly the same pattern, too. Mr. LeBlanc, can you please take a look at this for me? Oh, it's a Borgian cloth. As I suspected, your hat is made of the same material, I suppose. Yes, of course, this fabric is so famous, orders come from over the seas for more. And then this is the cargo you were talking about earlier? No. My cargo this time is much, many gigantic. You, detective, when can I have my cargo moved? You can get your cargo back when we're done investigating, pal. The stubbornness of you police, it's no good. And it is no good that attendant refuses to exit the attendant's room too. An attendant? I wonder if he's talking about Miss Tenario. I should present him something else too, maybe. Just want to ask, okay. Oh. What did you mean by that attendant, Mr. LeBlanc? She was taken into the attendant's room for her interview, and they still haven't come out. They make no sign of coming out either. I was finished with my own interview much earlier, quicker than her. Why is Miss Tenerio's interview the only one that's taking up so much time? Miles Edgeworth, you were given free rein to examine the plane, weren't you? Yes, I was able to obtain the cooperation of the flight attendants. Speaking of attendants, I'd like to speak with Miss Tenario. I wonder if you might grant me permission to enter the flight. Before I do, you still have to clear up a few issues surrounding your own circumstances. I understand. You may have tricked those attendants with your sophisticated talking, but you can't pull the wool over my eyes, Miles Edgeworth. Let's not complicate things and go with the most obvious conclusion. The scene of the crime was here, in the very lounge the body was discovered. From the time the victim was seen calling for an attendant until his body was found, the only person in this lounge the entire time was you, Miles Edgeworth. This unmistakably makes you the likeliest suspect. The likeliest suspect, Francisca. Do you have a problem with that? No, but it's not like you use such vague wording. You're usually a bit more absolute. I'm simply trying to watch out for you. Or is my kindness too hard for you to comprehend? Thank you, but your leniency is unnecessary, but I will prove my innocence soon enough. If I want to continue my investigation, I'll have to break her line of logic fast. Let's press her on her 4 statements. 5.
Hold it!
Don't you think you're being a bit rash by simply declaring me the culprit? I like my affairs to be simple and perfect. I'll show you the meaning of both when I finish this whole thing within 3 minutes. Hey, you say that like you're cooking a pack of instant noodles. I won't allow even 3 seconds of useless testimony to be uttered in my presence. I see she hasn't changed a bit, but I won't allow her to send me to prison so easily.
Hold it!
So tell me, Francisca, do you know all there is to know about the crime scene? I know all that I need to know in order to arrest you. And nothing more. Are you saying there is more I need to know? Ah! Why did you whip me, sir? Sorry, Scruffy, my hands must have slipped. It would appear that Francisca doesn't have all the facts of this case yet.
Hold it!
What do you mean by scene? Please stop pretending like you don't know. It's insulting. Obviously, I'm talking about how Mr. Hicks was seen calling for an attendant at 5 a.m. And then, from the time after that call until the body was found...
Hold it!
Well, it's true that I was in the lounge the whole time. That fact alone does not make me the criminal.
Objection!
Huh, we'll see about that at the conclusion of this investigation. However, there is one thing that even you must admit at this time.
Hold it!
Under the circumstances, I suppose I can agree that I am the most likely suspect. But I believe in you, sir. I don't think you did it. Miss Von Karma's gotta believe that too, right? I mean, you two are like siblings. Ow! Quiet, Scruffy. Even if I were related by blood, that's no guarantee that he's not a criminal. Siska, I demand to see some proof that you are not the guilty party. Likely a suspect, huh? What a roundabout euphemism. But it would appear that she doesn't yet know. With the new evidence that we acquired and where we acquired it, I'll take care of the gaps in her logic one hole at a time. I think I should say that no, because that girl was here too. I can't. Okay, so it's this one.
Objection!
It would appear that you did not have all the information you needed after all. And what does that mean? I found a nice piece of evidence just before I was forced to stop investigating. A piece that proves that the body was moved from a different location. The killer used this suitcase to move the victim's body, meaning that the real scene of the crime is not this lounge at all.
Objection!
Now who's the one rashly jumping to conclusions? Excuse me? All you did was find this piece of cloth inside the suitcase. That doesn't prove that the body was moved. It could be that the killer simply chose that suitcase as a good place to hide the cloth. I expected you would come to that conclusion. It would seem I can't escape that easily. You should know better than that. A Von Karma is perfect in every way. Ah, but did you know that the killer definitely wheeled the suitcase around its own?
Objection!
As if there's proof of that. Where's the proof that the suitcase was moved around? Oh, snap. Okay.
Take that!
This spilled grape juice in front of the elevator. Yes, and I'd like to draw to your attention to this area here. Where's the evidence that proves the killer dragged the suitcase through here? Right here.
Take that!
This mark here, wouldn't you say that looks suspiciously like it tracks from 2 wheels? I suppose. Further, there is also grape juice residue on the wheels of the suitcase. This means the suitcase containing the victim's body definitely passed through here. I suppose this means that the killer did move the victim's body from somewhere else. I'm glad you've come to your senses.
Objection!
Not so fast. This still doesn't put you in the clear, not by a long shot. You prepared yourself and acquired the piggy bank before the plane hit the turbulence. And then you waited for the victim in the lounge where you beat him to death. Then, while you were in the elevator with the victim's body sifting to the suitcase, the plane hit that patch of turbulence and out flew the body from within the suitcase. With no way out, you hastily put the suitcase back where you had taken it from, and pretended to be the discoverer of the body. Not a bad bit of logic for something you thought of on the fly. Just what are you insinuating? But I will show you exactly how flawed your logic is. No matter how strong a face you put on, not even you can hide your fears from me. I'll expose the flaws in her logic in one fell swoop.
Hold it!
And how do you suppose I was able to take the piggy bank out of its... That takes care of how you obtained the murder weapon.
Hold it!
I thought there wasn't any of the victim's blood found in the lounge. Huh? I thought you'd say that. What, did you think I wouldn't have noticed? I think you just found a way to cleverly hide the blood splatter in the lounge, by accidentally spilling grape juice on top of it. Are you accusing me of tampering with the crime scene now? We'll see, won't we? The forensic scientists are hard at work on that spot as we speak. And what do you suppose I did after that?
Hold it!
So I put the victim's body into the suitcase and then... Where was it headed, Francisca? That's pretty obvious. You were bringing it to first class where you could safely keep an eye on it. We're talking about this thing, you know, and I'd hardly call it discreet or ordinary. Annoying brat. Well then, you were intending to leave it inside the elevator? Unfortunately for you, a wrench was thrown into your plans because...
Hold it!
You've experienced turbulence on a flight before. Of course, many times. You get used to it after a while. The patch we hit was especially rough, and I passed out briefly, but only for a second. Good thing it was only for a sec, sir. It'd be bad if you'd really blacked out. Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, blacking out is exactly what got me into this mess in the first place. That's enough of your idle chatter. I'm not through with you yet, Miles Edgeworth.
Hold it!
If I really were a criminal, do you really think I'd be so easily
Objection!
caught? You are certainly in the middle of being caught right now. I have yet to find a contradiction. I have to find a contradiction faster. I won't have much of my own hide left to save. I have to say, you're looking rather caught right now. And I'll tell you exactly what you did after that. You loitered around in the lounge.
Hold it!
I didn't pretend to do anything. I really was the first to discover the victim's body. I suppose that's true. So then you are yielding to my statements? Don't be foolish. I still insist that you are the killer, but in that sense you really were the first to discover the body to be dead. No matter what I say, she seems dead set on making me out to be the killer. Her logic is reasonably sound, and there's a large majority of it reflects the truth. But there is one point about it that's not quite right. How can the body fly out of pouch of a suitcase?
Hold it!
Did I really work?
Objection!
Hold it!
Oops, crap. Is that great?
Objection!
Oh shit, that's not what I wanted to do. So, I don't present. It says it was taken out of the display case, but it says I think it also fell out.
Objection!
The fact that you took this piece of evidence into account in your testimony is to be commended. Your legal powers is certainly something to be feared. Evidence and logic, essential tools that those who would stand in a courtroom must learn to master. But what if there was a fake piece of evidence thrown into the mix? A fake? This Captain Ugo piggy bank is just such a fake. It is not the real murder. What? The timing of when the bank was taken away from the shop is important. It was taken after the turbulence occurred. But then what about the blood on the bank? What do you make of that? I assume it was added after the murder when the killer fabricated this weapon. You know, I didn't know it was not the murder weapon yet. So, that's interesting. Looking at it this way, the killer basically did three things after the turbulence. Cleaned up the blood, transported the body, after exiting the elevator. The killer brought the suitcase to the shop and left it there. Then the killer proceeded to pick the bank up off the floor. And took it to fabricate the fake murder weapon by hitting the victim on the head. Finally, the victim's wallet was planted in my personage, in my pocket to be precise. Everything was done so that I would be framed for the murder of Mr. Abby Hicks. You there? Yes, ma'am. Other than this piggy bank, was anything else resembling a murder weapon found? We didn't find anything in this lounge or in the shop that could be used as one, ma'am. Most of the items that could have been used were broken during the turbulence, and the remaining items all tested negative for any traces of blood. I see. Well, Miles Edgeworth, it appears your stall tactics are at an end. But it's possible that it's just hidden somewhere, sir. You know what? I bet you the blood came off of wherever he died, whatever he died from. If a criminal, and they wiped it with that rag, had wanted to hide a weapon in a safer place, I think the weapon would have been hidden in the same place as the bloody cloth. Exactly what I was thinking. Because the cloth was hidden inside that suitcase, it signals to me that the killer had not prepared a more secure place to hide the evidence, which means that the real murder weapon is either still on the murderous personage, or is still at the real crime.
Objection!
There is one more possibility, and that would be that the piggy bank is in fact the real weapon. But didn't we just... Let me finish. The killer took the bank out from the display case before the turbulence by opening the lock on the display case door. And it was that time the glass pane in the door was broken. I'd say that's a perfectly reasonable line of reasoning, wouldn't you? Let's see, so that means the killer had the key to the display case. Francisco, the person you're talking about... Not so fast, I'm not finished. The person I'm talking about also committed another sin. She tricked the captain, and granted you permission to conduct your investigation. Yes, it is the sin of lying. Speaking of which, I recall that you also wish to speak with her. Yes. Very well, permission granted, but only if I can sit in on your interrogation. Do we understand each other? I have no intention of interrogating her, but if you are welcome to accompany me if you so wish. The scenario is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. Let me finish looking at this first. God. Looks like we can't go beyond here, sir. Plus, the body has been sent off to the medical examiner's office for autopsy. Ah, Mr. Edgeworth, you have to see this chair. It says in honor of Rocker Pals Day. Good night. Hello, Muriel. How are you doing? And what exactly is the big deal with these Rocker Pals? They're a serious, sweet Swiss superstar rock band, sir. Ah, makes me want to listen to one of their songs right now. Sorry, I got lost in that forest of S's just now. Do you want me to explain it to you again? You know, Detective, I think I'll have to take a brain check on that, regrettably. I'm glad you're doing fine. Hey, the statue. What about it, Detective? Did you notice something? I saw this guy in a dream last night. The resemblance is uncanny, sir. You saw him in your dreams? Well, yeah, I saw him, and then I arrested him. I wanted to show you just how vital I am in our partnership. Being useful in your sleep is of no help to me in the real world, Detective. Oh man, there's a really pretty lady in that plane over there. Ah, she's looking over here. Quick, sir, wave at her with me, please. I refuse to be your wingman on this. Besides, you'll never miss here again, Detective. There are a few copies of Sky Magazine in the magazine rack. This month's special? Oh, looks like it's an English trivia quiz. Oh, I've got one. What starts with I and means boldly rude and disrespectful? Ignorant? The answer is most definitely insolent. Huh? Time's up. Sorry, sir. The correct answer is insolvent. Detective Gumshoe, don't tell me your English ability is the same level as him. They've got a piano on this plane. Hey, do you think I can try it out, sir? I think you would know better than to randomly touch things at a crime scene, Detective. Besides, I didn't know you knew how to play. Of course I do. I'm practically proficient. Interesting. The things you learn about people on a daily basis. I can get do and re to come out just right, sir. 2 notes is not proficient. Pianists make, Detective. Oh, I can go back that way. Hello, boys. The scenario is in the flight attendant's room. Let's move. That blue door over there leads to the flight attendant's room, sir. Alright, let's go see what Miss Scenario has to say for herself. You! Hurry and solve your murder. If you do not, how am I supposed to have my cargo returned to me? If you could please be patient just a little longer, Mr. LeBlanc. Hurry up and solve it, like a strike of thunder. It's as if fast as lightning, and believe me, if I could, I would. I've been told by Miss Von Karma that you can now enter the flight attendant's room. Please feel free to look around. Thank you. Now to unravel Miss Scenario's true intentions. Let's see, I can talk, right? Yes, sir? Anything of interest, Detective? Well, I can't say that I don't quite know everything about the situation yet. So I was just telling myself that I should go ask someone about the stuff I don't know. I mean, just because I don't know doesn't mean someone else might not know it, right? It must be my imagination, but for a second, I think I actually understood his logic. Way to show her who's boss, Mr. Edgeworth. Not even Miss Von Karma's whip is a match for you. You give me too much credit. She simply didn't have all the information. To be sure, the flights will become tougher and tougher as this investigation progresses. That's alright, Mr. Edgeworth. You've got me watching your back. I'll make sure to keep on supporting you any way I can. You just say the word, sir. Really? And how about standing out in front as absorbing whiplashes for me? Okay, can I go this way? I kinda want to. I didn't get to look at this area earlier. I did this already, so. Hello, Kemi. If I may have a word with you, Miss Beale. No, you may not have a word with me. I want to assure you that the lady is a fellow prosecutor. Her name is Francisca Von Karma. I don't care who she is. She's talking with Mona Capitan. I sense Miss Beale's type who considers every other woman to be a threat. I'm sorry for the late introduction. I am Miles Edgeworth, prosecutor. I believe one of the attendants asked you in my stead for permission to investigate. Yes, you must be the prosecutor Miss Beale was telling me about. I remember telling her you could investigate the in-flight shop or something of the sort. Then I guess it's true Mr. Nero didn't ask him for my permission on behalf. Sorry, I forgot to introduce myself. The captain of blah blah blah. Thank you for your help. I think this is about all the useful information I'm going to get from this man. Oh, movie poster. So what's it for, sir? License to Love, Laugh, Maim, and Murder. Apparently, though, I don't know what it's about. Oh, that movie's an in-flight special. I can't recommend it enough. When you talk like that, you sound just like Miss Rhoda. And you know how I hate that. I'm sorry, I didn't mean for it to come out like that, Kemi. This man really needs a solid crack of Francisco's whip. This was the victim's seat. His jacket must be just lying there, and his spilled leftover coffee is still there, too. I don't suppose anyone ever expects to die. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, this Ern's got a seatbelt strap tied around it. It must be of great value to Mr. LeBlanc, then. Yeah, I guess if you don't want to churn your urn, it's always the best to buckle up. Obviously, but did that have anything to do with the case, Detective? Nobody gets my jokes. Well, I still am concerned that the guy never was in his seat. The seatbelt was taken by the urn. This was my seat. Wow, you read law books even when you're flying, sir? Were you expecting anything less? Now come along, we must hurry to the crime scene. Hold on a sec. There's a different book stuck in here. The Steel Samurai Detective Gumshoe. Am I going to have to charge you with invasion of privacy? Oh, he's catching up on his, Steel Samurai. Hey, Mr. Edgeworth, I think you have too many red knights on this board. It's just your imagination. And it looks like that blue pawn is being completely surrounded by the red knights. Now you're saying things. Sir, I don't think you're supposed to have lots of the same piece like in chapters. I know that, Detective. What do you take me for? Okay. The man in this seat was the one we saw earlier out of the airport lobby hyperventilating. If he's so scared to fly, then why take an airplane to begin with? Yeah, if he's that scared, he should have caught a ferry or a cruise ship or something. By the way, were you okay with all that turbulence, Mr. Edgeworth? Yes, it was nothing I couldn't handle. I should have figured it right. As if you'd get on a plane if you were scared of them. Indeed. That's a really big floaty, but isn't it a bit too early in the year for swimming? Detective, it's not for swimming, it's a lifesaver. So you can't swim with one of these. No. I mean, I suppose you could, but that's not what they're intended for. Well then, let's see it's the same as a floaty. You shouldn't go around confusing people, sir. Why do I feel like I just kicked a puppy? The man in this seat was constantly drinking something. You know, right before payday, I do nothing but drink the soup from my instant noodles. That much sodium can't be healthy. You might want to go in for a checkup. Oh, do you really think I was serious, Mr. Edgeworth? No. What? I'm sorry, sir. I'll never make another joke like that again. What is this? What is it, Detective? Did you find an important piece of evidence? A giant parfait on top of bread and steak? Paint me jealous, sir. It's a feast. Maybe I should just let him have the giant parfait so that we can move on. Alright, I'm going in here now. So who is in here with her? Just that guy over there? So you're the one that poked around inside this plane without the captain's permission. Deviating from the flight attendant's manual is very unbecoming, you know. What were you hoping to accomplish by doing that? Uh, I... Missed an area. Ah! Mr. Edgeworth, you're here too? Can you please help us and shed some light on why you did what you did? Alright. This door leads to the cargo hold, but I can't let you through without Miss Von Karma's express permission. That's not a bad way to handle the situation if it was any old case, but it isn't. So between you and Miss Von Karma, who's better at their job? Oh, there is no comparison to be made, Detective. None. What is all this junk inside these boxes? There's no rhyme or reason to any of it. That's our lost and found, Mr. Edgeworth. Gold crowns and swords and necklaces? It's like a treasure trove in here, sir. The fact that these were left on the plane implies they were carried onto to begin with. Something tells me that it's time for Goyu to send its metal detectors out for repairs. And what are inside these boxes? Oh, those are some souvenirs I bought in blah blah. There's so many! There's even a second box. Well, yes, I find that folk art from around the world does great things for my creativity. Those suitcases certainly could not have been done with a whole lot of less of your creativity. It's one of those suitcases designed by Mr. Nerio. You can tell it's hardly ever been used by the lack of even a single scratch on it. These are the attendants' lockers, huh? Let's hurry up and examine them, sir. Why must men always be so rude? Besides, who exactly gave you permission to search through the attendants' lockers? Wait, for detective. It would be uncouth of us to look in a woman's locker without her permission. Yeah, I guess so. Plus, I feel this murderous draft, and I can sense a whip not far behind. Oh. Don't. Okay. It's pretty easy to tell who sleeps in which bunk just by looking. I am almost certain that the well-kept one up top belongs to Miss Tenerio. Ew, this bottom was a giant mess. You sloven, squalid scoundrel of a man, you dare to scrutinize a woman's bed and invade her privacy? Yeah. There are some things in life best kept to keep to yourself, detective. Oh, I can go over there. What exactly is this panel for? That is the emergency control panel for the elevator. We use it to stop the elevator on the first floor and to keep its doors open. Well, go on, let's hear out the troublesome attendant. In due time, I do have one thing I'd like to ask you. Yes? Do you plan to continue using that whip for a foreseeable future? Of course. I've wrangled many a testimony out of people thanks to it. Yeah, and probably a whole ton of else. Oh! I'm willing to bet that the majority of them came from you, detective. Oh, that's the door I came from. So what's this door? Miles Edgeworth, isn't there something that you should be doing right now? Of course, I should be asking Miss Tenerio for her side of the story. That's right, and how does that have anything to do with what's over there? Nothing really. If you already knew that, then why don't you hurry up with the interrogation already? I thought it wasn't an interrogation, but whatever. Why did you lie about receiving the captain's permission like that? Because I didn't think I would be able to get his permission. What do you mean? The captain, he only has ears for Cammy. I spoke with the captain a little earlier myself. He definitely seems to be rather taken with Miss Meal. Yes, and on top of that, I had mistakenly accused Mr. Edgeworth of being the killer. I wanted to make amends. In that case, please allow me to thank you for what you did. Thanks to you, I was able to clear myself of all charges. Really? You were able to prove your innocence? Oh, thank goodness. Miss Tenerio, is it? There's one more thing I'd like to ask you. You were in the in-flight shop just before the turbulence, weren't you? Please answer honestly. Yes, I was. And why were you there? Well, Why the sudden hesitation? Francisca seems to have struck a nerve. All I did was go check in on the shop like I always do. You're saying it was for work then? Yes, I'm in charge of the shop, so I have to keep an eye on it. I don't have any reason to go there otherwise. After your visit to the shop, you paid a visit to this room, correct? Yes, I came back to freshen up and adjust my makeup. I'm sorry, but there isn't much else to tell. The scenario claims to have no reason other than duty to go to the shop. But is that all there is to it? Maybe I should ask her about that thing. I'm sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. I don't know how to answer you. As a professional flight attendant, I'm a failure. She must be worn out from the long questioning session she just went through. Okay. If you could please take a look at this for me in a scenario. Oh, that suitcase. Yes, about this suitcase. You are the one who designed it, correct? I think I figured something else out about it. This suitcase is the reason you went to the shop, isn't it? There's nothing you won't find out eventually, is there? Won't you please tell me more about this suitcase? Yes, well, I was interested in seeing how the suitcase I designed were selling. I know that as a service professional I'm not supposed to care, but I really wanted to know. And I was glad to see that it was the last one out there. The last one? Oh, really?